vessel. If God finds the right vessel, but how do we become the right vessel? We behold him. He won't pour into us until we become more like him. As we behold him as in a glass, we are changed. Where do we behold him? In his presence. Then how do we now access his presence? That should be the focus. If our vessel is the issue, and our vessels will not receive new wine and new oil until our vessels undergo a transformative process. How do we have this transformative process happen? When we are in his presence. How then do we access his presence? Because it is his presence that we are changed. The kind of atmosphere you have here, you can have every evening in your house. You can have every day in your house, not because you are going somewhere to preach, not because you are going somewhere, you are invited somewhere, not because you have need for breakthrough. No, it's just you. There are 4 or 5 things I would quickly share that gets us access there. All we need to do is stay there. Changes will be happening. If 1 week passes and you are carrying the same oil, the challenge is the vessel is the same. You didn't hear that. If the oil is the same and the oil cannot change, then the vessel has not changed. If you want the oil to change, focus on the change of the vessel. And if that is the case, get into his presence and tarry there. In Luke 24 verse 49, he said, tarry ye in Jerusalem until you be endued with power. That is an indication of oil. That's an indication of wine coming down into a vessel. But he said, tarry till you be endued. And as they tarried in Acts chapter 2 verse 1 to 4, what happened? When the day of Pentecost was fully come. This thing is not a hit and run. This thing is a hit and stay. This thing is not a hit and run. This thing is a hit and stick. This thing is not a hit and run. This thing is a hit and die. We must tarry. We must remain. This year the Lord began to speak to us in our ministry so very clearly. He said it is time to begin to tell the body to return back to retreating. That's how our fathers came out from the place of retreat. But now we have allowed activity take away retreating. Activity has simply replaced intimacy. That we're in many programs every day, every hour, every moment doesn't mean we're in his presence. So this thing is personal. When the fire came upon the altar in the days of Elijah, who repaired the altar? Elijah. The church is not the one to take responsibility for your vessel. Your schedule is not what takes responsibility for your vessel. You are the one who takes responsibility for your vessel. Oh, thank God we had a great time yesterday, but that's not great time to go and sleep through. Yesterday's gone. Today I'm in need. Holy Ghost fire. Yesterday's gone. Today I'm in need. Holy Ghost power. Hear what you are saying. Yesterday's gone. Today I'm in need. Listen to this. I just had a release to share with you something. It's by the way, but I think it will help someone. The Lord taught me earlier this year that there are 2 things that will make for an effective minister. One is a minister that remembers. So the Bible teaches us to remember his goodness, to remember his faithfulness. That brings gratitude. But also you must be a minister that forgets. You forget your result. That's what brings hunger. So this thing is a mystery. There are things to remember, there are things to forget. Some have continued to celebrate what happened 10 years ago. Nothing wrong with giving God thanks, but that has also killed hunger. Yesterday's gone. Today I'm in need. Holy Ghost. I sense in my spirit that what is happening is more like a retreat. People are being called back. Where did I get this thing wrong? How did I leave this thing? Many of us have been there before. Because we looked weird, we came out and joined the crowd. Your own is too much. Why are you pressing this much? What I read here, we are not there. And so his presence becomes very, very vital, because that's where changes happen. How do we access his presence? Let's look at 4 or 5 of them very quickly. Number 1 is the art of separation. You heard what our mother said yesterday. God told us separate. God is still in the business of telling people to separate. There are meetings were scheduled for, God said, cancel. I want you. Now, the truth is this: the people who are running after you and inviting you is because they see something in you. The moment it disappears, they will forget you. You shouldn't always be findable.